led by architect and director Daniel Burnham.
And Daniel Burnham?
Lighting up over 100,000 bulbs.
Dead. American history. There's something about New Orleans. Something that clings to you even as you leave. A weight in the air, sweet, heavy, almost sentient. They call it the Crescent City, born of French ambition and Spanish stubbornness, cradled in the lazy bend of the Mississippi River. They tell us it's built on swamp and dreams, but dreams aren't supposed to feel this solid, and swamps don't usually carry stone foundations buried 20 feet down. This city feels old, older than its own stories, older than the official date, 1718, when Bienville is said to have claimed the soggy patch of Louisiana for France. Because in New Orleans, every brick whispers like it has a memory. Every street breathes like it remembers footsteps from before the French ever arrived. Walk down Royal Street at night and you'll hear them. The echoes, the faint tap of shoes on flagstone, even when the street is empty. The soft hum of a hymn no living throat is singing. Some say it's the ghost, but what if it's more? What if this city itself is alive? The French Quarter, the crown jewel of New Orleans. They say it's Spanish colonial architecture. Stucco walls, wrought iron balconies, but look closer. Those aren't Spanish arches. That's Roman symmetry. Those aren't simple balconies. They are latticed with ironwork so intricate it could have been printed, not forged. And yet, where are the forges? In the 1700s, this was a mosquito-ridden outpost with no foundries, no quarries, and no labor force capable of shaping and transporting this much iron and stone. So where did it all come from? Some argue it was imported from Europe, piece by piece, but shipping thousands of tons of stone across an ocean through hurricanes and blockades would have been madness, unless, of course, it wasn't imported at all. It was already here. At St. Louis Cathedral, the story feels even stranger. They say the first cathedral was built in 1718, replaced in 1789, and then rebuilt again in the mid-1800s. But if you ever stood in front of it, you know, something about it doesn't feel like a rebuild. It feels ancient. The foundation stones beneath its floors don't match documented construction. Some are far older than the cathedral itself, as if it belonged to an earlier structure, something grander, something forgotten. Why do you think it's called St. Louis Cathedral? Maybe because Louis wasn't the first king to reign here. But this isn't just about architecture. New Orleans is haunted, in every sense of the word. Yellow fever claimed tens of thousands here, whole families gone in days, and yet the city didn't clear their homes. It didn't tear them down. It left them standing, breathing, watching. People say you can still see them at windows, shadows that don't belong, faces pale as a candle smoke. At Lafitte's blacksmith shop, one of the oldest buildings in the city, you'll hear pirate laughter when there's no one inside. Some claim Jean Lafitte himself never left, still guarding the secrets in the brick walls. And then there's the Lalaurie Mansion. You know the story. Madame Lalaurie, the socialite turned sadist. But the house feels wrong even without her. Visitors report headaches, nausea, an overwhelming urge to run. Paranormal teams describe walls that seem to pulse, like a heartbeat. Could it be that this isn't a haunted house at all, but an ancient structure with a power we don't understand, one that amplified her darkness? New Orleans burns, over and over again. The Great Fire of 1788 consumed 856 buildings. 6 years later, another fire destroyed 200 more. Each time they rebuilt, fast. too fast for a frontier colony with no infrastructure. Or maybe they didn't rebuild. Maybe they uncovered. What if the fires weren't disasters at all? What if they were resets? Because this city has been reset before. Floods, fires, hurricanes. Each time it emerges with new buildings that look too perfect, too ancient, and too designed. And the records? Conveniently missing. Demolition photos, blueprints, work logs, all gone. It is as if someone needed to erase what came before. And then there's the music, jazz. They say it was born here, out of pain and out of joy, out of African hymns and European melodies colliding in the Congo Square. But sound is powerful, ancient power. What if New Orleans wasn't just built for commerce and comfort? What if it was designed to resonate? The domes, the arches, the long straight avenues, all elements of acoustic design. Could this have been a city tuned like an instrument? A place that once vibrated with energy beyond anything we understand. Even now, if you listen, the city hums. New Orleans shouldn't exist. It's sinking, always sinking, yet somehow it survives. The cemeteries rise above ground, not for aesthetics, but because digging deeper brings you to another layer, older layers. Brick tunnels, stone chambers no one wants to explain. Workers have reported finding entire rooms beneath the streets. Arches sealed with bricks so ancient they crumble at a touch. What is down there? No one will say. Because maybe New Orleans isn't just a city at all. It's a living document layered over an older world. A kingdom drowned, burned, and buried, but never fully erased. And maybe that's why it feels alive, why it feels haunted, and why even as you leave, it refuses to let go. New Orleans isn't just a city. It's a memory, a warning, and perhaps a promise. The dead don't rest here, and neither does the truth.
If you enjoyed this polished retelling of progress and civilization,
And if you're questioning what's really been buried under the official story,
then don't forget to like the video.
share it with the ones who aren't afraid to ask why.
Follow and subscribe for new episodes uncovering forgotten marvels.
And the history that still yaps beneath the ruins.
Because the past isn't silent, it's yapping.